I may or may not have picked up a Boston accent after watching this movie. What a dooski, guys, it's Fail34, and today I'm here with my Patriots Day review. So I'll be honest, I had no idea what I was getting myself into when I was going into this movie. I heard from a couple friends that it was about the Boston Marathon bombing that happened in 2013, but that was pretty much it for me. I didn't even see a trailer. With that being said, I was surprised how freaking good this was. The story for this one is on the tragic Boston Marathon in April 2013 and follows the aftermath of the police sergeant Tommy Saunders, played by Mark Wahlberg, FBI special agent played by Kevin Bacon, and Commissioner Ed Davis, played by John Goodman, join heroic survivors, first responders, and other investigators in a race against the clock to hunt down the suspects and bring them to justice. So I'll just get right into it. I found Patriots Day to be fantastic on virtually almost all boards. This one's directed by Peter Berg, and at this point he's done a good amount of similar films that have to do with real life events, and this one is no disappointment. So let's go talk about some performances. I thought everybody in the cast did a great job with their characters. Of course, the lead man in this is played by none other than Mark Wahlberg, and he does one of the better performances I think he's done in recent memory. Right when the movie starts, his character is struggling with a host of things and he has to deal with these attacks, and as the movie progresses we see how he's emotionally impacted by this and how much he really loves his city. As well, there's a lot of good talent on the supporting cast with J.K. Simmons, Kevin Bacon, and John Goodman, who are all standouts. We see all these different sections of authority put aside their differences or conflict that they may have with one another and unite together in midst of a tragedy. With regards to storytelling, it was really well executed. You know, this is something based off of real life events, so you'd think you know, like, in line what's gonna happen. With the way that they deal with the actual bombing and then the chase afterwards, it was just really well handled. My bad if I didn't make this clear, but Patriots Day is an emotional movie. It's kind of hard to watch at times. There's a lot of graphic imagery, and in the back of my mind I'm thinking, this happened just so recently. It was in 2013, that was like not even 4 years ago. Another thing is the style of storytelling is done interesting. For example, at many times they manage to like intertwine security footage with what's happening in the story, which works surprisingly well. Another thing that was cool about this movie was you were not just following this one character, Mark Wahlberg, as he's going through X, Y, and Z to find the people after the bombing. You see different perspectives of multiple people who are affected by just regular day people, and I thought this choice was very effective for the majority of the film. All these different people around the city, you know, all come together by the end of the movie after this bombing and the chase and the investigation pretty well. Speaking of chases, there's a couple in this movie, and I gotta say, Patriots Day is a highly engaging and immersive film. It's very tense, and at many moments during standoffs or chase or even just silent moments, I found my heart racing. Granted, this movie is a little hard to watch because of the emotion, but it is certainly crafted very well. There's some action sequences in Patriots Day, one in particular that really blew me away with how raw and gritty the feeling was and the way it was executed. Along with that, the director did a really good job in this one. There's a lot of handheld capture with shaky elements that bring a natural / realistic feel that really gets you immersed in what's happening. Another thing that I liked about Patriots Day was it focused on just the everyday people, like I mentioned earlier. You know, somebody who's just some college kids or some couple down the street, and it really goes to show and highlight how the community came together in midst of this tragedy. Something about this movie that I really wasn't expecting was its humor. Granted, it isn't a comedy by any means, but it had very subtle moments that were surprisingly funny and felt natural, that didn't feel out of place or take me out of the experience of the film. With regards to pacing, I found it pretty solid. Didn't find any moments where it dragged on too much. I found this movie entertaining, informative, and interesting. With regards to negatives, I don't have all too many with Patriots Day. Some nitpicks that I would have would be maybe some of the subplots with some of these other characters. Sometimes like the way that they interjected them sometimes was very abrupt and short with people like J.K. Simmons or some of the other people. They were kind of spaced out and out of place, and they came back much later on in the story. Overall, Patriots Day is a great movie depicting the events of the Boston Marathon bombing in April 2013 in a manner that pays respect to it, all while being immersive, engaging, and an emotional ride with solid characters. I'm gonna give Patriots Day a 9 out of 10. And guys, that was my movie review for Patriots Day. What did you think of it? Have you already seen it? Are you thinking about seeing it? Let me know in the comment section down below. I would definitely say go check out Patriots Day. It was really a ride, guys. If you're kind of on the fence about it, I would say go check it out, even worth the full ticket price. As always, guys, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you have not already. Also, guys, feel free to check out my social media if you got Twitter and Instagram. Links to that in the description down below, as well as my P.O. box. This is week 2 of my weekly movie reviews, so I'm having a good time doing these. Let me know, guys, if there's any movies you want me to check out, and I'll check it out. That's it for me. I'll see you next time. Peace.